leading as the character. Just go in aggressively and toss your cooldowns out, and you're all of a sudden a good Overwatch player. No, this character just teaches terrible habits that don't transfer to any other skill and doesn't really add to the strategy of the game in any interesting way as far as I can tell. I think the devs need to rework Moira because she's the type of hero that just falls off as you go up the tiers, except in this kind of meta where a character like Ana is so bad and easily overrun that you really don't have to play her, so you should just play a safe pick and keep channeling damage orbs and heal orbs on your team over and over again. Even at high tiers, you should play her, I think, right now, which is a terrible timeline, but it's going to change. Surely this is not how the game should be played long term, so why are we rewarding people exploiting this pick, going up the ranks? The rest of the game doesn't really function that way. There's a lot of real Overwatch going on where you have to think about the strategy and position well and play with your team and all that. Moira just breaks all the rules and does what she wants. There's so many Moira players I've seen this season make horrific decisions. I am shocked that they get up to the rank I'm at playing that way. But the truth is, that's how you should play her, like a moron.
I want to talk a little bit about this from your Overwatch. I think, here's the thing, I don't blame him for having the issue of playing Moira at all. And it seems like a lot of people are actually not happy with his viewpoint if we were just looking at the likes and dislikes. I just want to put my own opinion here because I think it's a little bit important to at least break it down, because I know he was very passionate in the podcast about the changes and how Moira is basically one of the biggest heroes currently with how good she is. I understand where he comes from. He's a tank and have a hard time dealing with Moira because Moira versus a tank is honestly winning against the tank. It's crazy to say, but she is pretty strong. She's in that sense really, really strong. And yes, she is very simple hero to play. But the thing is, overall, I don't care if she's a simple player or a simple hero in this case. I think it's healthy to have some heroes to actually be very simple to play. For example, in this case, we have also Winston, which he seems to like a lot, which is also a very simple hero to play overall. That is very similar to Moira. The only difference, in my opinion, would be that Winston do not have healing, except for the ulti, and he has a shield instead. And he's a tank. But he's basically the same afterwards, in my opinion. That's kind of how I view it, at least if I'm just looking at the basic kit of what he can do and what Moira can do. The thing I do agree with, though, is that Moira is very, very oppressive in many different scenarios, and I think the biggest problem I'd have with her, if any, would not necessarily be her aimless power, which is basically she's sucking your life out till you die. I think most people can kill her before she's even gonna be able to do that most often. I think the biggest problem is just her fade cooldown is way too low, because she can go be in a very poor position, because that's basically the biggest issue here. She can fade in, she can do stuff, even though that was a really bad call, and she can fade out and not die. That is basically the kit she can do. She is extremely strong when it comes to the fade in and fade out. I think if they, higher up the cooldown a little bit from where it currently is, the fade in would be a little bit more punishable and maybe promote more of a fade out situation instead. I do not promote the being able to fade in and out during one fight. I don't think that's a healthy thing. And maybe that is where they might need to tweak her. I don't think she really need to change too much there, where they probably are going to nerf her today. She's gonna be nerfed with the healing and stuff, which I do understand, just putting out, and her ulti is just absolutely insane when it comes to farming, which is one of the things that is absolutely insane about her. Overall, I don't think Moira is as unhealthy as maybe your Overwatch thinks. My brain just died. That's why I forgot about what his name is. Freedo. My bad, dude. I don't know why I just lost that brain. I think that should be in your description, man, because dude, I can't think. I have food coma now, okay? I'm sorry. But anyways, that's kind of just my view on it. I understand the frustration. I hate going against a Moira because I play Widowmaker, and G can literally destroy me if I'm just missing my shots, which I do, especially with a Moira that is in your front of your face and she suck your life out with the damage ball. I have no chance of surviving. There's it's 0 minus 0. I'm lucky to survive if I have a Mercy on my team, because they will save me. That's the only reason I would survive against a Moira. That is having a Mercy with me. But I'm a Widowmaker main, so I'm also a very horrific person. She is very, very unpunishable hero. That is true, but I don't think she deserves all the hate she currently has. So the only thing I would personally change would probably higher up the cooldown and maybe tweak the healing right now or maybe tweak the cooldown on the ulti, because farming ults is actually insane right now and it does a lot of damage and healing at the same time, so she can heal everyone, which is the reason why she's so strong right now. That kind of kind of what I would try to do. I don't know. That's the only thing I have in my mind. But other than that, I do promote Moira to be in the game. I think she's a very fun and unique hero, and it's easy to play. Yes, she is a very easy hero to play, and she falls off on higher ranks, generally. And we already know that she's not gonna be in the high rank for a very long time either, because they're probably gonna nerf her. But I still think it's needed to have a hero in the game that is very useful in lower ranks. Sometimes easy heroes are there for the funsies and for the lower skill players, not just the higher skill. I understand the feeling of like that she's not unfun to go against. It's almost like people hate going against Widowmaker and they don't want her to be in the game. And I am biased. I'm gonna say this. I am a biased person. I like having the thought of Widowmaker being really bad at close fights, because that's not where she should thrive. Widowmaker should thrive in longer ranges. That's why the one shot just makes so much sense. Especially on her. Hanzo, I understand why they changed it. Hanzo is also a very forgiving hero, which is why I think the one shot makes sense, why they removed it. I don't have much complaint there really, even though I loved to play him before. He's just a little bit unsatisfying to play currently, that's all. But I think he's one of the great heroes still. It's just, you know, he falls off because the consistent damage is not there. So that's kind of how I see it. I'm probably gonna finish your video later on here. I just wanted to give you my thoughts on it at least. I think he's healthy in the game. I understand the frustration though, but I don't necessarily agree. But I'm gonna continue watching this video because I enjoy listening to people's opinion. And I like your opinions too. Anyways, bye.